Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are here to react to episode 2 of Obi-Wan. Episode 1 was incredible. I loved every second of it. Everything with Obi-Wan was just heartbreaking and sad and lonely to watch. We got a lot of Leia, honestly, which I wasn't expecting at all, but that's really cool. And seeing how ruthless the Inquisitors can be in their hunt for the Jedi and where that leads into episode 2 is really exciting, as they kidnapped Leia Organa and are going to use her to draw Obi-Wan out, which honestly, fair. it worked. They don't truly know her true importance, but the fact that they knew using her would draw him out was pretty lucky and smart. The last episode was very emotional for me. I cried technically before the episode even started. Just watching the recap of the prequels had me really emotional. That I was emotional at the end of the episode. I was emotional at various points during the episode. And so I think I might be able to hold it together more so in this episode, but we'll see what happens. Before we jump into it, please consider leaving a like on the video. That means a ton to me and it helps my channel out a lot. If you're new here and you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to support me even further, consider checking out my Patreon. I post full uncuts for everything I watch over there, and you can get featured in every single one of my videos as well. But other than that, let's jump into episode 2 of Obi-Wan. He's a little reckless with that lightsaber right there. Someone could see that and be like, hey, that's a Jedi. Like, Inquisitors, you missed one. And it's the one you want. So this planet's called Daiyu.
Excuse me. I'm looking for a ship. I was tracking its signals.
You're in Daiyu now. All signals in or out are blocked. People like their secrets out here.
Interesting. Because it's a crime planet.
If ever I needed guidance, Master, it's now.
Spare any credits. Help a veteran get a warm meal.
Hey, buddy. That's so cool that he can just show up like this for a couple minutes. Does he recognize him?
Out of the way.
And we don't know who that clone is or anything, but that was Tamara Morrison. As soon as you hear his voice, you're like, oh! And you see the little armor.
What do you need?
About some information. I'm looking for my daughter. She was taken, and she's on this planet.
Well, if she's here, you're never gonna see her again. Nobody leaves this place.
This looks like a girl version of the guy who plays Will Byers in Stranger Things.
There's a Jedi. He helps people.
The Jedi are all gone.
Okay, you're safe now.
Camille, not
I
Gianni.
won't let anything happen to you.
Okay, so this is definitely an act, right? He's just pretending to be a Jedi.
They are to be given safe passage to Corellia.
Yeah, he's faking it so hard.
I'm not leaving. You're mine.
The Force is so strong with you.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I'm
You
looking for a
swindler.
How'd you get in here?
A girl has been kidnapped.
I am Haja Estri, Jedi.
I There's a lot of remotes and magnets.
Okay, I know how this works.
Yes, it looks like you just took money from that family.
I got them safe, just a little poorer.
You're not gonna tell anyone, are you?
So
So judgmental.
judgmental.
Gonna help me find this girl I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You'll help me?
Yeah,
Can I trust you?
definitely.
No, you super cannot trust him. Oh, that's such a classic Obi-Wan pose, where he just like touches himself, touches his face. Classic Obi-Wan right there. Oh no! Your beaker, it's broken. It's pretty good.
Hey, what are you doing back here?
Not quite the fighter you were before. He's not used to using his hands to fight people. It's like, why can't I just use the Force? Or my lightsaber? He has to actually punch people in the face. It's like, ow! I didn't have to do this before. It's not her. It's fake. It's a trap.
I'm surprised you fell for it. I figured you'd be smarter than to risk everything for a spoiled little...
Well, everybody bleeds.
Spice, baby boy. How'd they let him get his hands free?
Wait!
Let go of me!
Wait!
Let go! Who are you?
Your father sent me. I'm here to help you.
Where's the army?
He is the army. Would you like to stay here? She dismantled a chair. Hopefully she took her droid with her so Obi-Wan can repair it later. They're just tripping.
Where is he?
Whatever power you are craving, it will not change what you are.
Ooh.
The least of us.
Savage.
Secure the city. I will take Kenobi.
So she is not a
You are
former
no
Jedi.
longer
She is a
required, sister.
gutter rat that had Force sensitive abilities. It's a friggin' dinosaur. Hey yo, put your hood up.
Yeah, little green cape. You don't need those. And the gloves.
He just buys them for her anyway. You don't need those. And the gloves.
Well, you're my daughter.
Granddaughter, maybe.
What?
Nothing.
Granddaughter.
I read that Jedi can make things float. Make me float.
What?
I want to float.
Yo, Leia, do you not understand what's going on?
How can I trust you when I know you're hiding something? You think the less you say, the less you give away. But really, it's the opposite.
How old are you?
10.
Don't sound like you're 10.
It's her subconscious Force sensitivity that probably allows her to read these things in people.
We had him. Look at this reward.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
This is with the girl. They'll have half of the city on them now.
Let's get to him first.
It's so funny. His immediate response, oh, that's embarrassing. Camille Nanjiani is so fun. He's so mad at this girl. She's just insolent. Thinks she's above them all. She despises them for their disdain of her.
I let your parents know you're safe. They'll be back in the palace, back to normal by nightfall.
Normal. Great.
Don't worry, you only got like 10 years left of being normal. And then you become a general. She's gonna read the name on his little thing.
Good lie.
Leia.
That's what you were hiding. You're the reason I'm here. They took me to get to you. Did my father even see you? You're a Jedi.
Your father is a very old friend.
I don't believe you.
Leia. Leia! No!
Leia, I get that you're 10, but come on. Ooh, it's a giant Yeti dog.
It's her. It's the Pearl. Just tell us where he is.
He doesn't like using blasters. She's so good at evading people. Because as soon as they get within a foot of her, they stop trying to catch her.
Leia! Leia!
Oh no, the dinosaur. That was pretty cool. Oh, parkour. The Force parkour. Obi-Wan, you're a horrible shot. You can't make this jump, kid. Dang, so pretty much like everything we see from the trailer is in the first 2 episodes. That's so cool. Wow, I don't know why the backflip was necessary.
Hold on! Hold on tight! Don't let go, Leia! Hold on tight!
You're gonna have to use the Force.
Leia, Leia, no! No!
Reach out. Like you haven't reached out in 10 years. He's a little rusty.
You really are a Jedi.
Yeah. Duh.
And this is all for you?
Yeah, because he's awesome.
Who are you?
Hey, Camille.
You're a criminal.
Look, have I made a few bad decisions? Sure. Do I feel bad about it? Sometimes. Do I like credits?
Sometimes.
Yeah. There's so much stuff you can buy with credits.
Haja.
I'm trying to make amends. I got that family safe, and I'm gonna do the same for you. If I'd known what you were...
Doesn't matter what I am. I just need to get the girl home.
Hopefully he doesn't die. I like...
On Obi-Wan.
Oh, he knows exactly who he is.
Buy you as much time as I can.
Oh, spinning lightsaber. Fly away with it. She's still doing parkour.
I am the only Jedi around.
Where is he?
Ah, that wasn't magnets, was it?
She's gonna reach inside your brain, man. I'm surprised she didn't kill him.
Shot at, I almost fell to my death, and now there are inquisiting people after us. If somebody is offering us help, I think we should take it. Now come on.
There's inquisiting people.
What now?
Nothing, you just remind me of someone. She was fearless too, and stubborn.
Natalie Portman.
Was your friend a Jedi too?
Duchess Satine.
No, she was a leader.
It's either Padme or Duchess Satine.
I'm sorry.
Those are the two people he could be thinking of. I'm leaning towards Duchess Satine. She was always a little sassy towards Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Come out, wherever you are. You can't run, Obi-Wan!
I'm just going to take you to him. Lord Vader will be pleased.
Oh, that hurts him a little bit. Oh, he probably thought Anakin was dead.
Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah.
Anakin Skywalker is alive. He's been looking for you.
Really think I'd let you take all the credit?
What?
Who's in the gutter, man?
What? No way. Classic line from the trailer. You can't escape him. There's no way she just killed him. That's not where the Grand Inquisitor dies. Unless that guy wasn't actually the Grand Inquisitor. Leia, your dad's alive. His world is rocked. I said I wasn't gonna cry on this one. Oh my god. So does the next episode come out on Friday? Or Wednesday? Okay, that was incredible, but I do have to have one nitpick. Is that Obi-Wan sucks at hiding. My man's does not even attempt to stay hidden. Oh man, but yeah, he goes to this what, Daiyu or whatever it was called to find Leia, and it's obviously a trap, right? The whole thing was to draw him out here. Some cool things that I liked. I really enjoyed Kumail Nanjiani's character. I honestly expected him to die. He's a little bit of a sleazebag pretending to be a Jedi. You know, he's like the like spirit tellers or fortune tellers or whatever, where they're like having these seances and communing with the dead, but it's really just, you know, magnets and the wind and fans and stuff. He's pretending to be a Jedi, and I thought he was working with maybe like the Empire to funnel some force sensitive people to them, but I guess he actually legitimately just helped that family and saved this force sensitive boy. So he is generally on the good side, the rebellious side, not necessarily part of the rebellion by any means, but he is a rebellious character. And you know, when he's helping people out, he's going to collect a few credits here and there. But I love Kumail Nanjiani as a character, or as a person, and just like his demeanor and everything is so fun. I honestly expected him to die when he was, you know, getting in the way of the third sister. I thought that that she was gonna kill him, but she just takes the info from his brain and then moves on. And it's kind of crazy. One of my favorite parts was Tamara Morrison popping up as a random clone veteran. That's, you know, so cool that he can appear in some of these shows, and he doesn't have to appear as Boba Fett. He can appear as just a clone. We don't know necessarily which clone that is. He's just a veteran clone. You know, maybe he secretly recognized Obi-Wan, who knows? But it adds more substantiability. I don't know if that's a word. It makes the chances of seeing other clones like Rex or some of the other ones that lived beyond this time period. It lends some credence to the possibility that we might see them, because if Tamara Morrison can show up just as any random clone, I feel like he would definitely be willing to show up as one of them. And it shows that he doesn't have to show up as Boba Fett. So I thought that was dope. But Obi-Wan, as he just walks around this planet trying to find Leia, he's essentially like not trying to hide at all. Like, I mean, granted, it's been 10 years, so most of the people probably don't recognize him, but like the people that are looking for him would recognize him. And the fact that he's just like not even attempting to hide the fact that he's a Jedi, that he is essentially Obi-Wan Kenobi, is so funny. And he rescues Leia, but then they put out the call of like, hey, Obi-Wan's on this planet, and he still is just like, the most he does is put a hood up. It's so funny. It was very interesting to see the dynamic between the third sister and the other Inquisitors. So she was not a former Jedi. So the main Inquisitors that we know of really were former Jedi turned to the dark side and hunting their own kind. The Grand Inquisitor was a formal temple guard, and he was actually part of the guard that was there when Ahsoka had her trial, and so that's very interesting. Now, we'll get to that part at the end, but her disdain for them. So they straight up like hate her. They're like, you're gutter trash. Like, we are great Force users. Like, we are a level above you because of the station we previously held. We picked you up off the street. Like, you're only here because you're powerful. You had abilities, and we used you now. And she wants to rise above them because she has this disdain for them, and they're looking down upon. She has a disdain for their disdain of her, and she wants to curry some favor with Lord Vader, and she thinks if she can catch Obi-Wan, that will essentially elevate her to like that #1 spot, and then there's no way that even the Grand Inquisitor could look down upon her. his fun little chase sequence trying to get Leia as she runs away from him because she doesn't trust him. One small other nitpick, I had this same thought process during episode 1 and I called it out a little bit. It's pretty unbelievable that Leia is able to just like run away from everyone. Like it's almost like Three Stooges level like physical comedy in a sense, where like everyone chasing after her is so unbelievably inept at catching this child, when in any real life situation, 2 or 3 strides and that kid is in your arms. So like it's just kind of funny that she's so easily able to just outrun him. She's like running across rooftops, and he's in a shootout, just trying to protect her and catch her at the same time, but then she jumps off the ledge. She could have died, and he has to reach out with the Force. He probably has not even really attempted to use the Force in 10 years, right? Like he's staying hidden. And so like just like from everything we know about the Jedi, like the reaching out to the Force is not an easy thing necessarily to do, especially if you've cut yourself off from the Force for 10 years. And so he strains really hard to save her. But he saves her, figures out she's a Jedi, he's a Jedi. One thing that I like about her, which I'm going to attribute to her Force sensitivity, is the fact that she can very easily read people and kind of see through their facades a little bit. She did it last episode with her cousin, and she kind of does it with him this time, where she's like, you think not telling me things is protecting me, and you're not giving things away, but you're secretly giving away a lot by not telling me this. And then they get help from Kumail Nanjiani, and he's like, hey, go here. Again, surprised he lived. Hopefully we see more of him, either in this series or in future series. That would be cool to see him maybe like join the rebellion in some form. If this is the only time he's in the Star Wars universe, that's okay, but it's a little bit of a bummer. I like him a lot. But then, yeah, they go to this shipping place, and the third sister reveals to Obi-Wan that Anakin is alive. So he thought Anakin was dead this whole time. He cut off his arm and his legs on Mustafar and essentially watched him burn and assumed that he would have died there. And granted, if the Emperor had not found him and saved him, he would have died. There's no way he's crawling off that planet on his own. He's not going to get food anyway. And so him being turned into the physical form of Vader, mentally he was already Vader at that point, but getting in the suit is what saved his life. Obi-Wan rightfully thought he was dead. And so learning that he's alive in this moment is kind of earth-shattering. I assume part of it might be a little hope, if I'm honest, like, because we know that he wants some redemption, because he thinks not only did he fail Anakin, he thinks he killed Anakin, and that's why Owen's words last episode hit a little close to home when he's like, oh, like you trained his father, because he also not only feels as though he failed Anakin, he is like, I killed him. Like, I killed this kid's father. And hearing that he's alive, one, is probably very daunting in terms of like, oh, he is like out there hunting me. He's a full-blown Sith now. Like, that's scary, but also tiny bit of hope for redemption because he's still alive. At least the way I'm going to interpret it. One thing that really surprised me is the third sister seemingly kills the Grand Inquisitor, stabs him through the chest, and it looks like he died. He fell over, but I thought he didn't die here. I thought he died in Rebels. So I don't think she actually killed him. I think he's gonna survive that wound, and somehow, you know, that might be their way of kind of incapacitating him for the remainder of this series, and making the third sister the main villain of this series, in a sense, because you know, the Grand Inquisitor is a fairly capable being, and he plays a significant role in Star Wars Rebels, which takes place 4 years after this. So if they truly were killing him in this episode, that would essentially retcon all of Star Wars Rebels, like fully season 1, because he's the main villain in season 1 of Rebels, and you know, his death and his impact on characters like Kanan and Ezra and Ahsoka, and you know, it throws everything. It would essentially take most of Rebels and just chuck it out the window, which some people might prefer, because I'm guessing a decent amount of people did not watch Rebels, but I think Disney has, you know, that was their first, right? That was the first thing that Disney did, really, was Rebels, from when they owned Star Wars. So I hesitate to think that they would so easily just kind of do away with that. And I think, given the fact that they had Hayden Christensen watch both Clone Wars and Rebels to prepare for this, you know, they obviously deem Rebels important, so I don't think they would just like toss that out the window, right? So I'm guessing he's just incapacitated, and he'll be out of commission for a little while, unless they use this as an opportunity to retcon Rebels, and then they could seemingly retell the story of that time period. They could retell Rebels in a live action format and change whatever they wanted. I don't think they would do that again, because Rebels, as much as it is, some people might consider it less than because it's an animated series, it is still canon, and it is still important. There's some incredibly important things that happen in Rebels with Obi-Wan specifically, and Darth Maul, the Grand Inquisitor, Ahsoka and Anakin, Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra, which is seemingly going to lead directly into the Ahsoka series. So like, I don't think they would be willing to retcon that and kind of toss any of that out. So my guess is that he is going to survive this, be incapacitated somehow. You know, that might be the downfall of Reva. You know, maybe he gets rescued by the fifth brother or whatever, whichever one the Asian one, the Asian guy is, the Inquisitor. He's got tons of makeup, but you can tell he's Asian. I believe he's the fifth brother. He'll probably collect him and bring him back to the Grand Inquisitorius facility or whatever, the one you see in Fallen Order, and he's going to be put in like a bacta tank and just going to be, you know, surviving for the majority of the season probably. And maybe he, once he's healthy at the end of the season, he murders Reva, because we don't see her at all in Rebels, so presumably she doesn't make it out of this series. She's my guess, either going to get killed by Obi-Wan, get killed by Darth Vader, or get killed by the Grand Inquisitor. So very interesting to see what happens. I honestly expected him to play a larger part, but he's also an extremely important character to other things, and you know, he never mentioned any of this happening in Rebels, so presumably that explains why he might be out of commission for this series. But the final shot where they cut to Hayden Christensen with the Darth Vader like scar makeup all on his head, and he's in the bacta tank, was frightening, but also like god tier excitement, because it has been 20 years, 19 years really since Revenge of the Sith came out, I believe, because it was 2003, or at least they filmed it in 2003 maybe. It's been at minimum 15 years, right? When did Revenge of the Sith come out? Okay, so they filmed it in 2003, released in 2005. So I was 10. I was 10 when Revenge of the Sith came out. So it's been 17 years since Revenge of the Sith came out. And seeing Obi-Wan back as Obi-Wan, deeply emotional, but also seeing Hayden Christensen back, especially after all the initial backlash that he received, especially from the prequels. A lot of people ragged on his acting. I think he's a good actor. He did what he was told and how he was directed and how it was written in the prequels. And he received a ton of backlash from critics, all the people that were above like 20 when the prequels were coming out, just trashing on him. Him and Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best just essentially kind of had somewhat their lives and careers ruined because of Star Wars. And over the past 10 years probably, I think weirdly enough, the driving force behind the prequel redemption is the Reddit r/prequel memes which I have been a member of. Prequel memes for like years. I've been a member of prequel memes for like 10 years almost. So back when it was just a little rinky-dink sub. And so I somewhat take full ownership in the redemption of the prequels. The fact that like so much of those movies were made into memes, and you know, in turn, when people enjoy memes, they enjoy the content that those memes come from. It's just more fun. And so all the people that grew up with the prequels, seemingly me, you know, from the time when I was 5 to 10 years old, you know, watching these movies as they came out. This is what I saw first. I saw all 3 prequel movies before I saw any of the original trilogy. So, and actually, because of that, I enjoy the prequels more than the original trilogy. Like, I have a deep, deep love for the prequels and the prequel characters, and seeing just the sheer love that Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor have received over the past couple years since the release of Revenge of the Sith has been very emotional for me, because I've always been a ride or die. And so to see that reception for them come around, and then to have them acknowledge it, like they, you know, when the movies came out, it was tough on them as actors, especially Ewan McGregor, because he and Hayden Christensen, but they made these movies and they put their heart and soul into them, and then to have them kind of torn apart by critics was very difficult for them. And now seeing the positive redemption and love for the prequels evidently has had a large impact on these actors, and they've come out in interviews saying that, you know, it has changed the way that they view Star Wars, where they previously probably would have stayed away for a while and they wouldn't have wanted to come back. But seeing the love that has been, you know, given to them by the people that actually grew up with them is heartwarming. You know, they had interviews at Star Wars Celebration, and just the entire crowd of people chanting, Hayden, Hayden, like, oh, it's so great. And so that shot of him in the makeup, like he's back. Hayden Christensen is back, and it's almost made me cry again at the end of the episode. And it's just like, man, to quote Hayden Christensen, both from the Star Wars prequel movies, but also his interview at Star Wars Celebration, he ended his interview with, "This is where the fun begins." Like, oh, let's go. Oh, I'm so happy that this exists. And now, now there's 4 episodes left, so there's 6 episodes total of this series. I gotta check which days they come out. Okay, so it looks like each of the next 4 episodes will be coming out on Wednesdays. So that is something to keep in mind if you're watching this. The next episode does not come out next Friday. It comes out Wednesday. And I will be there with bells on. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. Are you as hyped out of your mind as I am? I feel like there's so many significant things that are happening, and even just in the first 2 episodes that like you see it and you're like, like, especially if you recognize it, it's just insane. So hopefully you guys are having as much fun as I am watching this. Again, definitely let me know all your thoughts. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means the world to me, and it helps my videos get seen way more. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see more reactions to Obi-Wan or any other Star Wars related content. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That would mean the world to me as well. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.